So let's look now at quick mask mode. And I actually had to save this as a new version and reopen it because it was freezing because of the video streaming is taking a lot of my processing power. So we're going to talk a little bit about quick mask mode. And I'm going to go back and use the same image that I really like this image, this aspect of this symbol. I think it's really cool. And I'm going to go back and use the magic wand tool to actually select just this middle part. And what I want to do now is hit Q on the keyboard to enter quick mask mode. And what it's going to do, you can see, is it turns everything red. And what that means is basically everything that's inside that's not red, everything that's not red is basically selected. And what we can see is there's a little bit of edges here. So if I use, let's just go to white real quick. So like if I were to paint, I actually paint with a selection right now. I'm painting with a selection, which is really cool. But like, let's just say, for example, these little pixels are not going to be selected because they're the same color as the background. And therefore, this is going to be choppy. It's not going to look that good. So what I want to do is switch my colors. There's two ways to do this. Right now, we're just working with a black and white image. Let's switch the colors so that you can either press X on the keyboard to switch. We want to paint with white. So I hit B to go to my brush, and we'll talk about the brush tool later on, but for now, let's just paint some of these areas white. And you can see if we go over the edge, it actually turns it the color of the background. And we're just gonna paint out any of these little pixels that we think that might have been, that might not, we basically wanna just cut this area completely without losing this information. So I'm actually going to click here and hold the shift key, and voila, creates a straight line right across there like that. And there's a lot of cool things you can do with the brush. We're going to go over that later, but you can see I'm just trying to clean up the selection to try to make it feel really clean as best as I can right now in this way using these tools. So yep, giving me some selection. All right. And it's looking pretty good. Basically, we're getting close. So I'm just going to keep going here. And then I'm still in quick mask mode. So what I want to do and what I want to show you guys is when I exit quick mask mode, what's going to happen. So when I hit Q, now we can see everything that I was just painting with white became part of my selection. And this might be a little confusing at first. This took me a while to get to really wrap my head around. But essentially, if I go into quick mask mode, if anything is black, that's going to be not selected. So see all this red, that's basically like this is the selection. I'm drawing the inverse of that selection right now. And you can see I'm even overlapping some of my drawings and making a darker selection. And this is a little advanced. We'll talk about what this means. But I basically have this quick mask mode. You can see I'm going to cut now the artwork, and I won't lose that much of it. There's some of it I will lose, like this little thing at the bottom, which is fine. But now when I cut it out, watch what happens. There we go. It just left some of this sort of grainy, some of this detail, some of these edges that I didn't really care for. So it did a pretty good job of it. That's what I was hoping for. And now I'm just going to go up to Assets, Command Shift V, and it's going to paste it right where I want it. And I'm going to name this Crest. And we can see it obviously overlapped with the white, so that doesn't look so great. And one of the things we can do is come in and actually erase that stuff out. But for now, let's just set it to multiply. Let's appreciate the work we just did and the quick mask mode that we used to get that result. It's looking pretty good. Now, another thing we can do is we can actually select this layer by holding Command click. And what that does, you can see it actually selects our selection. It selects everything that we just drew that we cut out and pasted on this new layer, which if we want to, now that this is selected, we can hit Edit Fill or Alt Backspace. And we can see what it did was it just filled right up to the edge of our selection with black. just filled it like that. It made it look pretty darn good. There's definitely some rough edges, but if we undo, we can see it looked worse before. So we fill it with black, we get a little bit of a better result. That's one way we can use the quick mesh mode and a very fast selection to fill things and to make them look more clean.